Yeah, Ingrid, as in the LERI project, we had a specific emphasis also in showing how language-friendly lessons or language-friendly teaching pedagogies can work in different subjects. Of course, it was great that you offered some ideas on how to do that in physics. So I will now open your presentation.
So that's right. This was a lesson on magnetism, and it was actually very spontaneous. We had been looking at magnetism in the lab, and we wanted to capture the main concepts of magnetism, and decided to get the kids to create posters illustrating the main concepts like attract, repel, magnetic field. And we gave them the task to look up keywords such as those in their mother tongue, because most of them didn't know it. It was a new topic. That's the thing with many science topics. They are not aware of the language in their mother tongue. And that's why I think it's actually quite important to do this in your mother tongue, because it expands vocabulary. And they were to ask a parent for some help or use an online dictionary. As I said, it was a spontaneous idea. We wanted to see if it would help understanding to learn about magnetism in your mother tongue. I've just put it there as a bit of an experiment. Hypothesis was we thought it would. The next slide, we look at, you need multilingual students, and in Vienna we have multilingual students in all of our classes. An open attitude to learning, so from teachers and students to using mother tongue in class, possibly for some for the first time. For my colleague, it was a new experience. She hadn't done a lesson where students were allowed to speak their mother tongue and present something in their mother tongue without her understanding it. And she was very surprised and encouraged by it, and is open to doing more such lessons. Here we used poster paper. So the procedure was, as I said, to illustrate the concepts and then share the presentation. And then we gave a follow-up feedback questionnaire asking about the process, whether they asked a parent for the vocabulary, and how they found learning about magnetism in their mother tongue.
Before you continue, are the students used to use their mother tongue?
In this class, no. They were second-year students, and they hadn't used their mother tongue in class, as far as I know. Maybe with some other teachers in small vocabulary exercises possibly, but not such a task as far as I'm aware. Here's the result. So we had different languages. I'm afraid I can't tell what some of them are right now. Russian is there, Persian, Romanian. I'm not sure what the blue poster is. Could be Albanian. Yeah, and what was interesting on the next slide, I think we've got some more, Turkish, Arabic. And what was interesting, we looked at some of the key vocabulary. We did a table on the board of the vocabulary in different languages and looked for similarities, because it's scientific language. There were some things that sort of you could recognize from the other languages. This showed some of the conclusions from the students' feedback questionnaire. Maybe I will need to know these words in my language in the future. That was interesting. It's nice to know about these things in your mother tongue, recognizing there's a gap of knowledge there. You're only learning in the class language and not expanding your mother tongue, and that's a deficit then. Schoolwork is easier and I can understand it better, very positive. One child wrote, I didn't know all these words in Albanian before, and now I do, and was very happy that, she had expanded her vocabulary. And I think this one in purple is quite important. I can explain it to parents and classmates who don't understand German. So that's quite nice to be able to communicate with your parents about what you're doing at school, have the language for that, and also classmates who might be new, who don't speak that much German can also understand some of the science lesson because they have some of the vocabulary. And they're not sort of left in a space where they don't know what's going on. They have a little bit more information. There were majority positive responses. There were some students who felt that it was not important to learn school subjects in the mother tongue because they thought that they wouldn't need to know it in future. But the majority found that it was good to know those things.
Okay, yeah. Any comments from the parents?
No, I'm afraid we didn't interview parents. But it was interesting. Some students did ask their parents and got some of the vocabulary from them. So that was good. This is about the impact of the LERI project for me personally. I've noticed that using mother tongue does increase understanding. I feel that students are more responsible for their own learning because they're doing it in their language. And maybe there's more of a sense of ownership there. Creates opportunities to talk to their parents about school subjects if their parents don't speak German. Expands their skills in their mother tongue, gives them a sense of pride in their own language, so there's more equality in the classroom. I think those are, for me, the main points for language-friendly teaching and the impact that this project has had on my teaching.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much, Ingrid.
Pleasure. Yeah, the digital tools that I've become more familiar with, Canva, Prezi, stop motion. These were all ideas for filming the physics explanation. Would have been possible. In our situation, we used paper.
So this was it was new for you. So was it new to the kids also, or how complicated or how difficult was it?
Well, this one, because we didn't try out the digital aspect, I'm not sure, but this is something I would like to do with them because they have iPads now. So I think this is very easy to implement and you just have to give it a go. I think that's what we learned from this lesson. As I said, it was spontaneous. We gave it a go. And as you can see from the students' feedback, it was a positive experience for them all.
No, thank you very much.